everybody. This is your girl, Millie in the City, host of Beyond Me, the show. And I am so excited today because I have none other, than author David Lloyd Marcus with me today. How are you, sir?
I'm great. I'm fantastic. How are you?
I am wonderful. How have you been surviving in this quarantine?
I've been enjoying myself because I've been enjoying my babies. They've been home from school, so
Okay.
I get to spend a lot of time with family. I'm not one of the ones that have complained through
I
quarantine.
didn't complain at all.
It's all good to me to slow down for a little bit. So
yeah, I said, hey, holler at me, give me a call. And you was like, yeah, I'm gonna call you. And it's like 25 days late. No, I'm just kidding.
there we go.
Because you were working on so many projects. But
Yes.
you, sir, I was scrolling, I follow you on Facebook, and I was scrolling as I usually do through Facebook. And I know you've been working on this project because you had been asking relationship questions. I used to do relationships. So I know I have something on the Singles Factory called the Singles Factory on Facebook. I'm not into it as much, but to see you, brother, get into it was nice. Then you wrote a book, okay? And you wrote a book called Relationships. So I can cuss on here, okay?
Look, it's all one word, so it's not a cuss word. I just made up
relationships.
Right.
The Black Book. And some of the chapters you have revealed, we're going to get into that in a few moments. But why on earth did you feel it necessary to write about relationships, period?
Well, relationships is just a passion of mine. I always tell people I was always that friend. You have that one friend that
One friend.
Well, I'm friends with a lot of people, and so my line was always blowing up with calls because people love my objective opinion. Like, I don't give a biased one. And they love my perspective. I've been through a lot. My experiences really inspired me. And with this book, after being married for 7 years and divorced and me and my ex-wife went through 7 marriage counselors before we hit. Right. And so
I never heard that before.
So this book was kind of therapeutic for me to write, get out my frustrations. And to me, like, I feel today, the state of relationships is just a joke. And that's where, and it's kind of BS. And so that's what made me, I was like, you know what? People love the way I write. I said, I'm going to write a relatable book that speaks directly to what we're experiencing now, something that I wish I actually read while I was in counseling. Like, I feel like you can give this book to couples to make them aware of what they're actually doing, because sometimes we don't see ourselves, but this is definitely a book of accountability for sure.
I love that. And I hear a little Baltimorean kind of accent, sir.
Yeah, born and raised. You're going to hear a lot of twos and U's.
I love that. I love that because I started off with relationships. I started off with speed dating and things of that nature. And I wanted to be a relationship kind of guru and things of that nature. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was a little more difficult than I thought because, it's different. Oh, why are you in a relationship? And you blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And then it's just so many intricacies to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you are not honest with yourself, nothing happens. It's called being alone.
Yeah.
And so through that, I did learn a lot about myself. And I talked to men. I talked to some women, but I felt better talking to men about it. And men were giving me all sorts of advice. Then I had to change myself. So before we get into the chapters of your book, there are a couple of titles behind your name that no one knows about. So you're a producer.
Yes.
Writer. Director.
Yes. And author. Like I said, this is my 3rd book. Actually, my 4th that I penned, but my 3rd person. Yeah.
How does it feel? Like, how does it feel
I love it. Like when I had that moment that I discovered, because I always tell people, I think your gifts you have your entire life.
Right.
You just discover what your gift.
Right.
And once I discovered that gift, it's been no looking back from ever since. I dream about stories. If I always tell people, if I'm in the room with people, you at a party, I'm seeing a story. So you might be yourself at a party, I'm seeing scenarios, stories, and characters. And that's just how my mind works. It's like once I tap into it, I can't turn it off. So I love it.
I love it. I think I became a poet after I was a rapper. Okay.
Tell me about that off camera.
I tell you about that. No, and I became a poet, and everything I saw, not even everything I saw, it would just come to me in the shower. Mm-hmm. And so that's why it's going to sound funny, but I appreciated Hustle and Flow, because I understood when he pulled over, like, hold on for a second, let me write this down.
Yes.
I've jumped out of showers. I've written poems in my dreams, which really pisses me off because I completely forgot about it the next day. I was like, no, So what we're going to do is we are going to talk about your passions. We're going to also talk about these chapters because they're very crafty titles for these. I'm like. And so in these chapters, before we go to break, did you see yourself in all of these chapters and your relationships?
The majority.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, of my experiences or what I've seen other people experience. But the majority, like I always tell people, this is my most vulnerable piece of work that I've written.
Okay.
So I show a lot of myself, and it's share a lot of, like I said, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because again, and in the chapters, I've said not in a way of even glorifying anything that I've done, but hopefully somebody can learn from what I've done, because it's consequences to certain behaviors. And I talk about how it made me feel. Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick break. Lord Jesus. We'll be right back. This is Millie in the City for Beyond Me, the show. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. This is Millie in the City, your host of Beyond Me, the show. And it is just my honor and pleasure to have author David Lloyd Marcus on with me today, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Before we get into your book, Relationships, because I'm just going to say that all day long.
Look, that's going to be a worldwide term.
It's in my crawl, right? Like, nah, boo, you're not in an entanglement. It's a relationship. Okay?
Yep, that's it.
The Black Book. I thought of something, and like we were talking about, you just think, I'm always thinking, and this COVID has me thinking. Earlier, I thought last night, I thought before I knew I was going to interview you, I thought, geez, it's been an explosion, I think, of Black male authors. Okay. One, why do you think so? And two, how proud you must be again for that even little anecdote.
I'm proud. I think a lot of it has to do with now it's not gatekeepers like it used to be. Because there's so many ways to publish. Like self-publishing is huge. Like traditional publishing is kind of going out the window now. And even some of your great stories that you hear about was self-published first, like 50 Shades of Grey, all those. And because, like I said, we have the outlets now and avenues to produce the same thing with filmmaking. YouTube, Amazon Prime, is nothing really stopping us from putting out our own work. So that's what I believe it is.
Excellent. So you did say that you have gone through a lot of this. So this was your most vulnerable piece. How hard, because we know the Black man. I know the Black man. I got sons, got a boyfriend, got brothers. I got Vogel. I don't know if I've seen from my brothers, maybe one of them, my father, or maybe now, but your boyfriend or whatever, being vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And this took a lot from you to be your most vulnerable. Can you just talk briefly about that?
It took a lot. Not just straight up because it was vulnerable, because that's one of the things that I'm told from men and women, that I'm different. It is difficult. And I even talk about that in my first book, when you see men expressing themselves, but I'm not that guy. Okay. I'm very expressive. I talk. I'm sure you probably could tell in conversations that we've had.
Yes, we've had many.
I don't really mind, and I know how to articulate my feelings. Like sometimes people don't really know how to express themselves, even with their feelings. The thing I think that I was kind of walking the line with was, again, still respecting my ex-wife with telling my truth.
Okay, that's huge.
Yeah, I didn't want to disrespect her, because we're in a good space. I don't want to disrespect her in any way, because just because I'm telling my story, I don't have to drag people that I've been in relationships with down with me telling my stories. It's not that kind of book, no.
Right. And to be honest with you, that's admirable, because there's not a lot of respect going on at all. Mm-hmm. On relationship sides. We won't even talk about August Alsina. I digress.
You know, I touched on it in the book, though.
My God, he made a song about it.
Yeah. They made me add a chapter, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
And you got a song about it. Now, I respected Rick Ross's verse. I get it. It probably took him about 15 minutes or less to do it, and I thought he was respectful of it. But now I can't. I loved August Alsina. He done.
Yeah, I couldn't get through the song for what you're talking about. When I started listening to it, I'm like, I don't even know. I heard the beginning, and I was like, that was enough.
Now let me. Well, I heard it because I just want to hear Rick Ross and what was said, because they said that he talked about Jada, but he didn't. I appreciate his word usage. By saying he was jaded, blah blah. Okay, I get that. But even, and this is, I shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So, even if you had a chance to get it again, just say Will is out. I don't know what they do. Okay.
Right.
Now you're never ever get it.
It's done.
Like never.
Yeah.
Like ever.
Ever. Yeah. I agree.
All right. So, we'll get back to this book. When does the pre-orders and things of that nature, when does that come out?
The pre-orders is available for pre-order now.
Okay, so, for pre-order right now.
Right now on Dr.Ouch.com.
Dr. Ouch. Yeah. Please say that's not that man's last name. Go on.
Dr. Ouch is my stage name or pen name or whatever you want to call it, because I say, I inject the truth in all of my work.
It's an ouch, yeah.
And
so
it might hurt a little bit.
It might. So you have 23 chapters in this book. Yeah. Okay. And I know we don't have like a ton of time. I get that. I want to pick out the stuff. All of it says something to me. Let's just quickly, briefly talk about singleship. Can you define singleship?
Singleship, to me, is two sides to singleship.
Okay.
All right. Because I talk in the book how people don't know how to be single.
Okay.
And they walk that fine line. There's a lot of people that are single, but holding people accountable or to standards like that.
Yes, I've
and
done
it
it.
causes a lot of conflict because your relationship is not defined. It's like if you're single unless you have a title. And then there are also married folk that are married at home but single in the street.
Right.
So yeah, so singleship. I speak to both parties in that chapter. Yeah, about that.
Okay. And so then you have so many chapters. I loved. Oh my gosh. So are you compatible with your type? And I thought about that. We won't go into it because you know I had to think of
provoke thought. Yeah, go ahead.
I had to that's provoking thought because I wanted to know. Because I'm a sign kind of compatibility, if you're my sign and things of that nature. And so for me, the Geminis is out the door. I will never date a Gemini again. I will smother him with a pillow, but I will never date him ever. But you also have to think about what your type is, okay? And what your type is, throw it out the damn window. Revisit, come back to the window like, hold up. Let me revamp this. For me, that's what happened to me. Because what's my type? Someone that treats me well? Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll take
I love where you went with that, because
you see how I did that.
When you get the book, you'll see, but you're going in the right direction. I'm gonna say that. Yeah.
Got it. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick break, and we will try to delve into as many chapters as we can. I know we don't have long. We've got things to do. So we'll be right back. This is Millie in the City for Beyond Me, the show. We'll be right back. To Beyond Me, the show. I am your illustrious host, Millie in the City, and I'm on with author extraordinaire, okay, David Lloyd Marcus. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you for having me.
We are talking about your new book that is on sale for pre-order right now, called Relationships, the Black Book. Still love the title. Going to be saying that all the time. Need to get my copy pre-order, so I will be getting my copy today. I'm excited. We were talking about the chapters in your book. We talked a little bit about, are you compatible with your type in chapter 3? The title right there makes me think about my type and how I threw it out the window to currently be in a successful, in my opinion, relationship. Good. Tired of being by myself. Had to throw it out the window.
You gotta be that, yeah.
A cheater's karma.
Ooh, that chapter is going to touch some souls.
It's going to touch some souls. No, we ain't going to talk about it. What we're going to do is we ain't going to talk about it because I feel like I used to long time ago be a cheater. I get it. But the karma bit is a bitch, and I get that. So we're going to go on. You talk about transparency of core intentions.
Yeah.
So basically being honest and being just as honest you could possibly be with your core intentions.
Right off the break. Because I think a lot of times we're not giving people a choice. And there's
I never did.
Yeah, it's that representative.
Right.
And then they get to know, it's like, and then now we're mixed. Like, are we in a relationship? Are we not? Like, you should tell somebody right off the break.
Right.
Basically what your intentions are, and you can decide whether that's the person for you or not.
I love that. And you asked a question in chapter 6. Do you live in toxic land? Woo. Ooh. Okay. I don't even know. I think toxic land also probably includes, I didn't read the book, but I'm just imagining that toxic land includes, the bad boys for us.
It is that, but it's a little deeper because in that chapter, I'm like, do you live? Because you might not know. You might have a lot of toxic behavior that's producing these results, these toxic relationships.
Oh, okay.
And you might take or make light of certain behaviors, and it's like, no, like I believe the little fox has spoiled the vine. That's what the scripture says. Yeah, so all of these little behaviors will amount to this big thing. And so when I talk about toxic land, I'm like, do you live there? Do you like it there?
I live there. I don't, and I had someone say, you must like it. I'm like, no, I don't. And then maybe I do. Exactly. All right. So we're talking about, are you single and wasting time? Casual sex, pros and cons. Been there, done that. Won't get into it. Secret sex. You know what? Not touching that either. I've had some, never mind, not the point. I'm going to go back to August Alsina. No secret sex for me, okay? Right. Time is not on your side. And I think that's one thing a lot of people say is we have time. I, on the other hand, say, we ain't got a lot of time. Look around. Mm-hmm. Do you agree? Okay. So I think that this chapter called...
And I got to touch that just so...
Okay, go ahead.
Know. Where I go in the time is not on your side chapter. Because every chapter, like you said, is a thought-provoking. I'm trying to make you think. With the titles, but I just it's a lot of people with many years under their belt and brag about it. And
just talked about that.
It's absolutely worthless.
Literally just talked about that yesterday.
Worthless.
Yes, I did.
I go in on that. Yeah. It's about happiness and fulfillment, not time. But go ahead.
Okay. So I know what the word fake happy means. I've been fake for a long time until I just stopped. So that chapter I already know is going to touch. People going to be like, Yeah. And with this book, I know you're hoping just for one person to say,
that's it.
Wow, that's me. Oh, God, thank God for this book.
I'm
so proud of you, sir. You just have no idea. So you have, I'm going to read you a little bit. Okay. Chapter 16, because I love chapter 15, baby mother, baby father, blame games. We won't talk about that, but we will talk about women beg for trouble they get into with men. We don't have a lot of time because I know you're busy. We're all busy. Briefly touch on why you would say that about us women.
Because what I do, and that I'm very candid about my last 4 years of being single.
Okay.
And me being very honest, and the women that, like I said, being honest about core intentions. And then women, as time go on, had this picture of what they wanted us to be that I've never agreed to, never signed up for.
Okay.
And it's like, I just go into how a lot of times women walk into the fire.
Yes, we do.
And the building is burning right away. All the signs, but For some reason, I don't know if you think it's some gold in there that you could put that file out and change it. And they always feel like they want to be a lot of times the exception. Like, I know he's saying this.
Yep.
I'm gonna be the
Sir.
exception. And
Yep.
it's like, no. So that's why I go into the same way. I know that chapter I've got DM'd about so many times already. And I'm like, wait till you read it. You'll see where I'm going with it.
Right. I love that. And I take that chapter as to something I've been saying all along. When I take it spiritual, I think that what happens is that God has neon signs. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you're like, you open up the door, like, but God, I love him. And God has this big neon sign, this is the back of my thing, saying, stop. And you go into the door anyway. And God's sitting right there like, don't do it. But
sometimes it's even as blatant as the man saying his intentions.
Right. And because
I've told women, like, I've been in a season, especially this past year and a half, where I just know I don't have time to invest in a woman. And
yes.
I'm dedicated to my work. And I'll say that up front, say, I appreciate you. Let's just say you meet somebody and I'm like, I appreciate you being interested. I'm flattered. You're attractive. You seem like a catch, but I don't want to waste your time.
Right. Okay.
How more plain and blatant can it be?
I agree, yeah.
And then them following me, and because of my honesty, and they still kind of like my mind, they're like, that's different that he was up front. And then next thing you know, I might get a message like, well, maybe we can just go out for some drinks. Maybe we can just, and I'm like, why are you setting yourself up? Why?
Right. Okay.
Exception when I'm honest and up front. So yeah.
Right. So, and you know, I know we just have a little bit of time. You're talking about monogamy, and you're talking about, you know, that you guys are damaging good women. I love that. I just really can't wait to get the book. The term Marion type, liar. Ladies, are you taking advantage of good men and catering to trash? Yes, we have. But I'm going to stop it there because I got a few more minutes with you. And basically you ended up with, are you in a relationship or a relationship? Mm-hmm. And I think if I were honest with myself, I've been in relationships. Now I'm in a relationship, and that's some true honesty for your ass. Mm-hmm. And it sucks because you're like, oh, shit. I've been in a relationship. You know, we have to bring you back on because I really wanted to talk about arrogant lovers. And until recently, I did not know what that was. And I'm surprised you said it in this book. And you just look back, you'd be like, huh, so you were an arrogant lover, you son of a, okay, I digress. So I love it. Tell everybody again where they can find this amazing relationship book.
They can go to my website. It's dr-ouch.com.
Love it. How much is the book?
And you can, the website's on my social media too. My Facebook is David Lloyd Marcus, and my IG is David L. Marcus.
I love it. Okay, and so you've got that. How much is the book?
$14.99.
Okay. Let me get can I cash out? No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I want to thank you today for speaking with me. Very, very happy to talk with you. And I wish this book much success. I know you'll do well. I'm going to go get my copy in a few minutes. And so you just have an amazing day. And you need to be on the bestseller list. I'm afraid of that.
Thank you. I believe and praying that this will be. Yeah, it's necessary.
This is Millie in the City for Beyond Me, the show. Just want to let you guys know that you already are born with wings, so all you have to do is fly. Next time, guys, we will see you later. This is Millie in the City for Beyond Me, the show. Pretty deuces. Bye-bye.